Hey guys, this is Kyle or Vulcan Wolverine, and it's Saturday. Um, I don't know the date, but I just wanted to say I've taken down my enclosure, and I have a roommate and stuff, so it's pretty good. I'm trying to kind of live a normal life, but my attackers are using this against me. What they're doing now is, since I don't have the enclosure, they're just remotely hitting me in the head. They're just shooting the remote ELF into my head. Like yesterday or 2 days ago, it was just like I had a migraine inside of my head, and it was just so much pressure built up. Then I had ordered another personal defender because I gave one to my friend, and it's like now it's like just a burning on the top of my head, the nerves around my head. But since I had the enclosure, they weren't using the remote stuff so much. They were using like ground weapons to try and get into the enclosure. And now, since I don't have the enclosure to get into, they've switched everything to remote ELF, and they're just like pounding my head with it. So they've changed their tactics because I took certain things out. So I just wanted to mention that change. I want to document it because I'm sure of it. And what I'm gonna do, like I've told y'all, hopefully I can get. I'm getting that copper, and hopefully that copper mesh will stop the remote attacks, and I can like just go into that back room. It's gonna be tough because if you can see, it's like that back room that I'm gonna have to stay in. One of those back rooms, it's right by their house. And my friend was getting hit a lot last night, so he put some more corrugated steel up. He's really helping me a lot. But they're attacking him. We like sat outside. And when you sit outside your house, or when I sit outside of my house, I get a lot of vehicular stalking. So we even got a cop car, and he had just this blue lights on coming down our street, and then a bunch of one light cars and a bunch of cars that would just park like in the three-way intersection. They just stay there, and they kind of like slink around and stalk and crawl. That's the kind of people who are into the DHS Citizens Corps. It's like people who like harassing people, and they're just creeping and crawling around. I call them like walkers, like The Walking Dead. Like they're walkers, creepers. And then this guy, he's like, they've got him, the lady from next door. Then I hear another male voice and another female voice. So I think there's another male and a female. I think there's two other males and another female who's like, so there's two females who are really involved in it. They want it to happen. Then three males who are like involved in it, want it to happen. Then just one lady who doesn't want it going on. So it's a big mess. Like they're pushing each other along, so it's getting more dangerous. Where they're just like, yeah, we can kill this guy. And they say that they're not killing me, but they're hurting me really bad. Like, I can look in the mirror, I see my eyes, and my eyes are dilated because they're putting pressure on my head. And they're just like, yeah, look at him, look, I told you, he's crazy. These people are liars, and just disgusting liars. We have to forgive them through God, and try and go about our business. But like, I don't have to let this go. I'm gonna get this guy. Like, I'm gonna get him in court. So I forgive him, but I'm going after him. I have to like kind of release that, because if I keep that hate in my heart, it hurts me in this fight. So you gotta let it go. You gotta give the evil people who are doing this to you, give them to God. Try and forgive them through God, because you can only do it through God. Like, if you try and forgive them yourself, just like with your human self, you can't do it because they're so evil. You just won't be able to do it. You're like, who cares? I won't forgive these people. They're so evil. But I was talking to my friend last night, and he was like, you don't understand. You're not seeing it from their eyes. They're just following orders. They're just, they think they're doing this for their country. And you know, like, I listen to him and I disagree with him completely, because if you do treasonous actions, like if you murder Americans, like murder and ritually rape them and cook them like these people are doing, you are following treasonous orders. You're following orders that are treasonous, that are like against America. So this whole just following orders and they have to do it and all this stuff, and it's an innocent American that they're killing. I think that's horse crap. Horse crap is the vernacular I'd use. And I mean, you can tell, you can see, I look like, I look like I'm really tired, because they've changed their tactics. I've taken, because I've taken a lot of stuff, like anything I can get under, I've taken that down. So I don't have anything I can get under. I just have things that are blocking the sides. So what he's done a military strategy, because he's acting like this is a military mission to murder me and to hurt my family, like to really break us apart, to hurt me. Like my friend told me that he talked to him, because my friend's like really bold. He goes and he talks to the people around, and he said that he went and talked to him, and the guy was like, the guy said, well, anybody who thinks that that I'm killing them is dangerous. But he really is. It is this guy. And so, like, he is like, it's the worst lie I've ever heard in my life. It's like, I know people lie and stuff, but that is literally the worst lie, like the most sociopathic, evil lie that I've ever heard of anybody speak out of their mouth in my entire life. And he told my friend that. And I mean, I know definitely. I've seen him in the window with the weapons. His lights are on every night, all night. I go into that back room, I hear, the V2K, I hear the lady from next door, and she's just like, put him away, get him out of there, kill him, they're just like, they say a bunch of different stuff, so they're not doing anything. They're not like, they don't have a plan, like, let's do this. It's like, just hurt him enough to do something. Hurt him enough to put him away, or to kill him, or to just do something bad, Just hurt him enough so something bad happens. They don't even have like any kind of goal or anything. It's just hurt people. Hurting people is their goal, and then whatever happens to that person when they're really hurt. Yeah, I'm sorry I'm a little bit pissed off this morning. I made it's nice, like having a roommate. I have people around. People are over, and so, I guess it's harder when people are around. It kind of slows down. They kind of, slow their roll a little bit and stop attacking me, because there's other people around. But then my roommate leaves. I'm here alone, and then they pick it up, And he's really switched to the remote stuff, because when I could get under that enclosure, I had like layers of aluminum and stuff over me. So what they did is they did a tactic of switching to ground weapons and trying to get around, like try to get in at an angle. Now that I don't have that stuff covering me, they're just they've shoved everything into the remote stuff, and they're just nailing me like in the middle of the head to I guess cook my head. Yeah, and he has his car. He always has not the trunk of his car, the front of his car open, and I think he's using power from his battery. He's juicing whatever he has up and just pumping that remote ELF. I guess that's how it works. That's a theory, because he always has it open, and he has extension cords running into his garage. Yeah, I've seen 2 generators, so it seems like he can pump more power into his remote station and amp up the frequency. I hope when I get that copper, it'll affect it, but it's going to be in that room right by their house, so it's like, then I'm going to be at the mercy of their ground weapons. Over here, it's not so bad. These gentlemen, I think, just have ground weapons. The Mexican gentlemen, they don't have remote weapons, but and I don't think they have as many as he does, because I've got plates on this side and plugs. On this side, I've just got plugs, but I don't want to put my roommate, over on the side with them, because it's like they're hitting me. They've hit my parents. They've hit my friends. they hit anybody. It's a I was thinking about it this morning. This is not something where these people are finding targets that deserve this. These are targets of convenience that these people get. Like one lady on the local news said she moved into a house, and somebody told her that because she moved into the house, she would be targeted because they had the weapons around the house. It wasn't because she was like a person of interest or anybody who did anything. It's just because she was a convenient target. So this program is completely corrupt. It's not like following around people of interest. It's following around people of convenience. Like people who are in an area where the weapons are and people can just make up stuff. So it's a complete false flag on the front, on the face of it, to people. To like, I mean, I would say 95% of targeted individuals. I know some targeted individuals have done crimes. Like, my biggest crime, I've always told y'all, is smoking weed, and that's my biggest crime. But I know some people, have done stuff or whatever, but still, it's like, they should go to jail. They should do a background check on them, and then get the police, and then arrest them for whatever they did. It's totally corrupt. Like, it's just a completely corrupt program. Whenever there's no accountability and people are like hiding, like the people are hiding this technology, so it's gonna be used for evil. That is just the nature of it. That is the nature of it. Unless these weapons are out in the public, they are going to be used for bad stuff. People are going to be like, we can get away with this, so we are, because that's the people who use these weapons. Nobody who's a nice person who wants to help people is going to use some electromagnetic frequency to torture somebody or look at somebody in their house. It's always going to be somebody who wants to get away with stuff, who wants to see how far they can go. It will always be like that when they're hidden. It is just the very nature of it. There are no nice people who have these microwave weapons and are microwaving people's heads and their genitals and watching them, use the bathroom or what. They obviously have the surveillance on my house still, because I hear V2K. I feel the remote weapons. They have to be surveilling me in my house. And I also have, a young woman who is my roommate, and she is staying in my house. So if they're surveilling my house, they're surveilling everything. They're surveilling her. And like, I don't talk about it with her. We've decided not to talk about it because, she thinks it's in my head or whatever. And that's fine. Like, I still want her as a roommate. She's a really good person. And it's almost like she's like my mom. Like, it's like, I don't talk bullshit about it. Like, I make sense. So she has a reaction. Like, she almost has a visceral, physical reaction to it because it's so scary, and it reminds me of how my mom reacts to it. But I'm not going to shove it down people's throats. This is going to come out. We are going to fight, and we are going to win this. Like, I know it. Like, I know stuff about people. Like, people will come in my house, and I can tell how they are and who they are. I can tell what's going to happen in certain situations, and and that's a small feeling. With this program and what's happening, I have a huge feeling, y'all. I have a feeling so deep inside of me, and it's so solid that we are going to stop this. Like, that this will be stopped. Like, the mainstream media will start covering it. There will be stuff coming out about it, and it will be stopped because it's so corrupt. And I think there's so many people higher up that know about this and do not like it, and they're like working as we speak to stop this stuff. I mean, because these are people who, like, I hear it on the V2K, and they're just like, torch him, or it's some military terms like, wrap this guy up, or, put this guy away. I don't know, sometimes, like yesterday I heard like the worst, most sacrilegious thing on the V2K. They said crucify him. Like, the guy literally said fucking crucify him on the V2K. And I was like, did I just hear that? Sometimes they say stuff that's so crazy that I'm like, did I just hear that? Really? And that's sacrilegious to me, because that's something that was said, about Jesus. And I'm very religious, so it's just awful. It's satanic to me. Like, I mean, they take insult to that. Like, if I say it's satanic, they're like, wow, he thinks we're satanic. Now go ahead and, cook his brain. Like, so it's really insane. It's like lunacy. These people have lost their minds. They're just full of anger and fear,